Once again, I'm Richard Morecroft, and this is Letters and Numbers, where we don't use the expression no problem, because if we did, we'd have no show. And here to help solve those problems that we love to have, firstly, the Duchess of Differentials, Lily Serna.
Hi, Richard.
Hello, Lily. Now, when you look at those maths puzzles that we have to deal with, do you see them as problems or as challenges?
Neither, really. I see them as a game.
As a game?
Yeah.
Well, so who's the opposing team?
Well, the numbers.
So it's like you against the numbers?
It's me against the numbers.
Have you always been really, competitive? Have you played other competitive sports?
Look, I'll have to say yes. Even when I'm doing laps, I have imaginary races with the people next to me.
That is competitive.
It is. And are you competitive?
Well, look, the honest answer is no, not really. I mean, I suppose in that sense I was never very good at sport because I used to enjoy playing, cricket or tennis or football, but I never really cared who won. and that was a little bit of a performance problem, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm sure our contestants are going to be very competitive tonight, so there'll be competition in the air.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Lily. And our jargon hunter, David Astle.
Hi, Richard. Thank you.
Oh, jargon. You love and hate jargon.
Hang on, just rewind the tape there. You played sport, but you didn't care who won.
I know. It seems a contradiction in terms, doesn't it?
It's un-Australian, Richard. It's un-Australian. Jargon. In fact, one word, repo. To a money market, that means repurchase. To the finance market or the hire purchase, it is repossession. But repo in the studio means reposition. So, in fact, you can have a word peculiar to one trade or peculiar to several trades, but still be jargon.
Jargon's fascinating stuff, actually. We should pursue it further at some stage, but that's a nice example. Welcome, David.
Thank you.
Now let's say hello to our contestants tonight. And first up, our carryover champion back for his third night, sustainability consultant and photographer, Ollie Bryant. Great to see you back, Ollie.
Good to be back. Thank you, Richard.
Now, Ollie, you, I think, relatively recently have become an Australian citizen.
Yeah, I hail from a small village called Hale, which is just south of Manchester.
Just south of Manchester?
Yeah.
Because my parents' families, my grandparents and my parents came from near Manchester.
Oh, okay. Whereabouts?
Congleton and Macclesfield.
Oh, just down the road.
Just down the road. Well, we've got something in common.
We certainly have.
Good to see you back tonight, Ollie.
Thanks.
And taking Ollie on tonight is Basil Theophilos, a retired computer software developer and masseur who still teaches computers to adults. Welcome, Basil.
Thank you, Richard.
Now, it must be fascinating trying to teach computers to people who are perhaps completely unfamiliar with them. How old would some of your students be?
The oldest woman I've had was 89 and the oldest man was 93. And at the end of the first lesson, the woman, the 89-year-old, came up to me and said, "Where do I go to buy a computer?"
That's a great line. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
So please welcome our carryover champ, Ollie Bryant, and our challenger tonight, Basil Theophilos. Well, let's start Tuesday with a complete lack of surprise because it's the letters game, as always. And Ollie, as our carryover champ, as always. Pick the first letters for us, if you would.
Hi, Lily.
Hi, Ollie.
Consonant, please.
Certainly. Let's start the day with C.
And another one, please.
H.
And another one, please.
R.
And another one, please.
S.
A vowel, please.
E.
And another vowel, please.
O.
And another vowel, please.
Slow down.
Another E.
Slow down.
And another vowel, please.
U.
And a consonant to finish, please.
And last letter D.
Thank you, Lily. Our first clock. First word for the night, Ollie. How many?
6.
Sounds good. What about you, Basil?
6 for me too, Richard.
Let's start with yours first, please, Basil.
Chorus.
And Ollie?
Housed.
Sound good, David?
They sound excellent. And in fact, amazingly, both housed and chorus can be slightly manipulated for longer words. Both obviously good for 6. But with chorus, Basil, it's actually also a verb. So chorused is a possible 8. And with housed, rehoused is a possible 8 as well. So I don't mean to show off, but sometimes you do need to be aware of those little prefixes and what they may add to your score. But both fine 6s, but they were 2 possible 8s.
Interesting stuff. 6 points each to start the night for Ollie and Basil. Let's keep going, and Basil, it's your turn to choose some letters, please.
Could I have a vowel, please?
Certainly.
And
I.
another vowel.
A.
And another vowel.
E.
And another vowel.
Another A.
And a consonant.
R.
And another consonant.
M.
And another.
N.
And another.
S. And finally,
Another vowel.
U.
And 30 seconds on the clock. Basil, how did you go with your first choice of letters on the show?
I have a 7.
A 7, sounds great. Ollie?
I have a 7 as well.
Okay, well, let's start with yours, Ollie.
Remains.
And yours, Basil?
Marines.
Both lovely ones, David.
Marines, remains, both fine. Also an anagram of seminar. It was just one of those rich and fertile mixes, and I didn't add much to it with another 7, and that's amnesia.
Amnesia. Memorable one. Thank you, David. 7 points each for Ollie and Basil. Well, let's get to our first numbers game for tonight, where contestants have just 30 seconds to get as close to that target number as they can. And Ollie, if you'd like to start with a number choice, please.
2 large and 4 small, thanks.
Thanks, Ollie. 2 large and 4 small. And starting with the smalls, 5, 9, 7, 6, and the 2 large, 25 and 75, and the target to reach is 336.
Thanks, Lily. Let's head there now. Well, Ollie, how close did you get this time?
1 off. 337.
What about you, Basil?
Sorry, Richard, I didn't get that.
You didn't get there, didn't finish the calculation?
No.
Okay, well, we'll have to leave that. But Ollie, take us through your method, please.
Thanks. 75 times 5 is 375.
75 by 5 is 375.
Minus 25 is 350.
Minus 25 is 350.
Then separately, 7 plus 6 is 13.
7 plus 6 is 13.
Take that away for 337.
337.
So, well done, Ollie. Just 1 off the target. But Lily, how close did you manage to get?
Ollie was on the right track. You do go to 350 and work your way down, but there's another way of getting to 350. And if you subtract 25 by 75, that's 50. By the 7 gives you 350. And that frees up the 5. So if you add 5 to 9, that's 14. Take that away is 336.
Lovely method. Very nice work, Lily. But well done to Ollie as well. 7 points. That means that Basil's on 13, Ollie is on 20, as we head for our first break tonight. And of course, your first word mix. It's fold sigh. And the clue for you, a precious aquatic animal. Back in a couple of minutes.